boy. Hello everyone, my name is XFreds and welcome back to another Sonic video. Today we're going to be doing a top 5 video as well on the top 5 worst classic Sonic zones. Now, I like to address a few things. 1. Sonic Mania and Sonic 3 and Knuckles will not will not have levels from their games on this list. For two particular reasons. One, I haven't finished the Sonic 3 and... One, Mania is in the classic game, and I haven't finished 3 and K. 2, I genuinely think that the levels that I've crossed, that I come across, aren't that bad compared to these stages. Don't know how I would feel about it though, about those stages though, other than the fact that they're just mediocre at their best. Well, the lower ones from those games. Anyways, I plan to do a top 5 best Sonic stages. Top 5 best Sonic stages this video in the future. 2, these are all my personal opinions. And 3, I'm going to be playing through this. And 3, I'm going to be playing through this without a script, so forgive me if I stutter. Because believe it or not, I seem to have that a lot in my videos, other than the everything wrong with video. Anyways, let's get in to number 5. Coming in number 5 is Marble Zone. I think some of you guys were expecting this. However, some of you guys might be asking, what? XFreds, you said the Spring Yard Zone was worse than Marble Zone. Yes, back then I did, when I did my Sonic 1 review. But after replaying Spring Yard Zone along with Marble, my opinion kinda swapped. It said Marble Zone is the worst one, and Spring Yard Zone is the better one. Why, you may ask? Well, it's solely because of the fact that this stage is just boring. And a boring stage, along with a boring game is probably the worst game/level that they can make it become. Now, it's not difficult per se, although it does have its moments, but it focuses more on platforming rather than speed, which sounds cool, except for the fact that there's almost no speed moment other than the lava chasing you. As well, that it also doesn't help the fact that the boss that's led up to this level is very much generic. I will give Marble Zone a positive that it is fair, or for the most part, and it's not too frustrating. But I still don't have that much fun with it, just purely because of how boring it can be. It's not terrible, but it's kind of bad. Number 4, Metallic Madness from Sonic CD, and the only Sonic CD level that we have here. And that's solely because this is the only Sonic CD stage that I genuinely think is bad. Every other stage ranged from decent to actually pretty good. However, when you reach Metallic Madness, you will be in pain. Now it's nothing against final levels in Sonic games. I think final levels are meant to be hard, and if they are hard, it's a positive. Except when and that level takes it too far in terms of difficulty. This isn't nowhere near as bad as Ganon's Core from Sonic Adventure 2 and Eggman Land from Sonic Unleashed, but it's definitely close to that, to that hard, meaning that this level is frustrating. Now this stage isn't all bad. There are some positives like it, like the first two acts being not that good. Although the third act is pure misery, but we'll get into that later. However, a big problem that I have with the zone is that it feels a bit. I wouldn't say unoriginal per se, but I feel feeling a bit generic. I know, Sonic levels are meant to be generic in places, but come on, this is Sonic CD's final level. This is some of the most basic final levels I've ever seen in a Sonic game. As well, the platforming in this level is just a bit stupid. Which makes this zone even more bad. But that doesn't even compare to what I have to talk about next. Act 3 downright annoys me to no end. And if you've seen my Sonic CD review, then you would already know this. I won't waste too much of my breath saying that much on this level, other than the fact that it's the most frustrating level in the entire game. It's so frustrating to get to the final boss, and the final boss is just pathetic. I don't hate this zone per se, but I kind of want to hate it. But at the same time, compared to these next zones, this zone is purely nothing. In fact, it's nothing in general. Moving on. Number 3, Labyrinth Zone. Now, unlike Marble Zone and Metallic Madness, where I only dislike the zones but not hate them, I actually hate this level. Wanna know why? Yeah, because of the fact that it's just so stupid, and the level design brings near beyond confusion. I'm serious when I say this. This is beyond stupid, even for the first Sonic game. And the first two acts are at the very least mediocre, but they're passable. Knowing that they could have been much worse. But with the third act, it is just pure misery. I cannot say I like this level, at all. Oh, parts like this, where you have to jump at specific times, are very frustrating. And when you get to the entirety of the third act, you'll feel even more pain, because unlike the first two acts, which are actually pretty easy to memorize, it'll take you forever to memorize such things like this. That's why I hate this zone. It tricks you into thinking that it could be a memorable, fun zone. But believe it or not, guys, fun fact, I hate water levels. And I think everyone can agree with me that water levels are definitely not the best in the series. Overall, Labyrinth Zone sucks. and I hate it. Now, while I do hate this zone, there are 2 zones that I think are objectively worse. Let's get to that. Number 2, Scrap Brain Zone. If you've seen my playthrough through Sonic the Hedgehog 1, you already know that I downright hated this level with every fiber. And I still do up to this day. Why, you may ask? Well, the first act is far from terrible. The second act is worse because it spams almost everything at you. But the first act is far from bad. In fact, it's not even that frustrating to begin with. It's pretty fair in terms of difficulty, but the second act isn't. But that doesn't even compare to the third act. Why, you may ask? Well, they made it a 4th labyrinth zone! What? Are you serious? Whose idea was this to make a 4th labyrinth zone? I don't know whose idea it was, but whoever it was clearly wasn't thinking straight. And the worst part about this labyrinth zone in particular, especially sucks because of the fact that because of how much you had to go through on Scrap Brain Zone, you won't even remember how you got. You won't even memorize this zone very well. And because of this, you'll feel even more pain than the previous labyrinth zones. And the water spaces are more unforgiving, and so are the enemy placements. Overall, I hate this level. And while I still do up to this day, that doesn't even compare to what I have to say for number 1. Before I reveal number 1, I want to ask you something. You know Sonic the Hedgehog 2, right? The game that increases almost everything that Sonic 1 did? Yeah? Well, let me ask you something. Do you notice how I said that? Do you notice how I said almost everything in Sonic 1? Well, there is one thing that Sonic 2 does worser than Sonic 1, besides the special stages. And that was making a worser penultimate level. Number 1, Metropolis Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was an awesome game, and the fact that we got this insult of a Sonic level is just, it confuses me so much. How did an awesome game get one of the worst zones in Sonic history? I'll tell you how it does it worse. By giving us 3 acts. I get that this is a penultimate level, but you don't even give us extra levels for a penultimate level. Well, you don't do that in all your other games. You didn't even do it for Sonic 1 or CD. Why do it in Sonic 2? This confuses the hell out of me. What's even worse is the level itself. Despite the soundtrack being very top-notch, the level design is so unforgiving. And you know what's even more unforgiving? Enemy placements. Practically the worst enemy placements in the entire series. And I'm not talking about classic Sonic games. No, I'm talking about about the entirety of the Sonic series. These enemies, either from Sonic 2 or Metropolis Zone, sucks, and they deserve to be treated worse than Labyrinth Zone. I don't care what anybody says about Labyrinth Zone being the worst. While it is one of the worst, it's still not the worst. I still hate this zone very, very much. It doesn't bring back an old zone that was frustrating, but my God, at least it doesn't give us a fourth act. Well, I guess it kind of does, as for Labyrinth Zone, but it doesn't give us a fourth extra Scrap Brain act, unlike Metropolis Zone that gave us an extra third act. The platforming in this level sucks, and this sucks so hard that not even the boss for this level can carry it. This boss is very much fun and is my favorite boss from Sonic 2. But that's the problem. It came from the worst stage in the entire game. I'm sorry, guys, but I downright hate Metropolis Zone. Worst level in the classic series, and definitely will put it in my top 5 worst levels in general. Very, very slowly can I feel the pain. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you saw a comment from one of my previous videos, I would likely not be planning out the Sonic the Hedgehog 1 in CD reviews. I'm planning on remastering Sonic 3 when I complete it, and remastering Sonic Mania, because that review video wasn't as legendary nearly as I thought. So after this video gets released to the public, I'm gonna delete that video because it could have been so much better. And probably my least favorite review video on my channel because of the game I was covering. That game was the best in the entire series, and it could have been more grand. Very much more grand. So yeah, I apologize for that. And if you're somehow wondering about the Tony Sonic situation, I saw him doing a Everything I Love About Terraria 5, and I want to say to Tony Sonic that I apologize if I seemed a bit unfair in your Sonic 3 and K video. I just did not like that video at all, and I felt like your other videos, 2 certain videos that are slightly worse, that being the Adventure 2 and 06, but I want to say that I still very much respect you as a YouTuber, and Destroyer She's video really shows that he does understand you a lot more now, and I've always understood Tony Sonic from the beginning, but I still gave him criticism. Of course, not as much as I did from this month to the beginning of the late August to early September. But yeah, just an update on the whole Tony Sonic and Destroyer She situation, and because that thing is becoming quite a bit of a thing now. I just don't know what to say. I'm hoping this doesn't go on for that long, because honestly I'm hoping that, but I will give Destroyer She credit for addressing everything with his somewhat beef with Tony Sonic, and he did confirm in his comment section that he was somewhat frenemies with Tony Sonic, but in a good way. And another thing that I'd like to address is that I know this video wasn't Tony Sonic related in any way, but no matter what, good or bad, I will always support Tony Sonic. No, I may have made an everything wrong with video on his Sonic 3 and K video, though I will admit that there was a smidge bit of duds, but for the most part, there was a lot of things wrong, and I stand by quite a few of those, and I stand by most of those points. He did say that he was gonna be improving on writing his scripts while making everything wrong with videos, which is great because is now his earlier videos is simply him just trying to be as friendly as possible. Well, a couple slurs in there because of the style, but only for style. And he had to delete his Black Knight video just so he can fix some of the few biggest problems. And now that it's been improved, it ranged from decent to actually pretty good. Not as good as the Secret Rings video, but still. Anyways, whole update on the Sonic and Destroyer Sheet beef situation. It's passed for the most part, so Tony and Destroyer Sheet, you did a good job settling yourselves through. I'm happy for both of you guys. With that said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, guys.